Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Wednesday, June 16th, 2021. And today's a day that's ruled by the second chakra and guided by intelligence. And it is a Galactic Activation Portal today, and we're going to be working with the energy of the yellow lunar seed. And this is really fun that we're having this come up, because we do have a new galactic year beginning on the 26th. And that is going to be the yellow electric seed energy. This is my galactic calendar for the upcoming year. I just got this in the mail last week. So that's what we're going to be working with as we move into the new lunar year, the new galactic year. And so we're closing out the blue lunar storm year and moving into the yellow electric seed year. So there is going to be a video on that coming up, because this is big energy and we can really feel the wrap up of this catalyzing, transformative blue lunar storm energy and the blue lunar storm year. So that's going to be coming in the next week or two. I do want to acknowledge that I know it's been a little sparse with videos this week. I've had the opportunity to really show up and hold space for a lot of people in my life this week. Just a lot going on with these eclipse energies and the fallout from that and all of the shifts and all of the changes. And so it's been a true gift to be present for those in my life and to witness their own evolution and the process of that, which can be very intense in times. But I've held you guys in my heart the entire time. I will be going away and spending a few more days with family starting tomorrow. So I'm going to get out what I can for videos before I go. But just know that I'm always thinking of you guys. Like, I have so much appreciation for you and the connection that we have, the energy that we have, that we're all creating together on this channel. And I have a lot of new stuff in the works that I'm going to be coming out with soon. A lot of different ways that we can connect and really share our energies. So I'm really looking forward to unveiling some of that moving forward. And of course, the full moon consciousness raising and releasing ceremony will be happening on the 24th, just as it did last month. We kicked that off with the full moon eclipse energy, and so we're going to continue moving through with those full moon ceremonies. So if you guys want to join me for that, the information will be in the description box below. We had a really powerful time, and I will keep you informed as we move forward and I start doing different things. So I think that's all as far as the announcements go, but I just want to send that shout out to each and every one of you. Even when I'm not able to post videos as often as I usually do, I'm always reading your comments. I'm always checking and reading your emails, staying connected with you guys. So just there's always that love and appreciation there for you. With this yellow lunar seed energy, we are really embracing this energy of the yellow seed. So today's a really good day to feel into that energy. The signature is going to be different for the yellow electric seed year, because the tone is different. So the tone today with the lunar energy is a tone of challenge. It's a tone of contrast. So that is what we're going to be noticing, but we have the overriding yellow seed energy that we can start to get familiar with and begin working with. And the yellow seed energy is all about targeting, flowering, and awareness. So it's about the power of our intentions. It's all about our manifestations. It's about becoming aware, sitting in that place of presence and awareness, where we can notice everything around us, where we can be aware of our own selves, of our own intentions, aware of the seeds that our intentions have planted. And with this lunar tone today, we can really notice the contrast of where there are seeds that we have planted or intentions that we have set, either consciously or unconsciously, that are manifesting things that we are perhaps finding are not as pleasing in our reality as we thought they might be. And so today we have the ability and the opportunity to notice that and to fine tune that, to weed the garden of our minds and our hearts, so to speak. That's not saying that weeds are a bad thing. Everything in nature is beautiful and has its place. But in our hearts and minds, weeds are detrimental to the growth and the flourishing of our gardens, right? And so we want to pluck those out wherever those may be. And those weeds, what are those? Those are our belief systems. Those are our perceived limitations. Those are anywhere where illusion is present in our lives. And so being aware of that and really taking that care today, and then being very precise with the seeds that we are then planting and with the way that we care for those seeds. Because this energy wants us to understand that a seed contains everything within it that it needs in order to flourish, right? It is encoded with all of the information already, all of the possibility. So all we have to do is just give it that right amount of tender love and care, and then leave it be to do what it does. Right? And so that care is weeding the garden. That care is the watering and the allowing of the correct amount of sunlight, right? But it's not the overcare. We don't want to if we overly care for our seeds, that is just as detrimental as not caring for them at all. So it's learning that balance, right? That's where we go with the divinely inspired action, and then we release attachment and surrender the results. So really working with that power of manifestation and the power of our own awareness and intention today, and really noticing where that contrast is showing up for us and what that contrast is wanting to teach us about our manifestations and about our own mental processes, and what it is, how we are feeding and nourishing ourselves, right? Really focusing heavily on those belief systems, especially when we're in the middle of this year, which is all about that energy. We really want to look at that. We want to look at our perspectives. We want to look at our expectations. We want to be just in that state of awareness of all that's being revealed to us around these things today. I'm going to read you the affirmation, and these are also listed in the description box below now. So for those of you who like to work with the affirmations, that will be below. And the first affirmation is, I polarize in order to target. Stabilizing awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of intelligence. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. And the secondary affirmation is, I am Khan, seed. I am your creativity and sexuality. I give to you the power of growth and reproduction. And our guidance is to focus on the power of your intentions, target your desires, clarify, plant the essential seeds, expand and receive the natural growth of these desires. And from the Astro Dream Advisor, yellow seed is the ordered pattern of growth. You and your life are the fertile soil, and the mystery blooms within you through the power of your intention or seed thoughts. Just as a seed contains the hologram of its completion, the process of manifestation follows a natural order. In this gestation process, your intention is quickened by spirit. The charged seed, your true desire or vision, becomes the focus for germination. What can you open that will support receptivity and assist the germination of your seed intentions? Envision the seed receiving the invitation to grow in the openness of your world. Viscerally feel the possibility of your heart's dream emerging. Your true desires and dreams contain an innate intelligence that can break through even the rigidity of fixed expectations. Planting a new seed, even in the hard soil of old belief systems, can bring unexpected magic and growth. Be willing to break open the constraining shells of past patterns, the shackles of belief structures. Call forth your creative involvement with life. This involvement frees and awakens the powerful energy of the life force, shifting your perceptions and experience, catalyzing the manifestation of your dreams. Participate spontaneously in your growth, unrestricted by the illusion of old structures that once provided safety. Move forward into the light of new possibilities. Offer your dream seed to the universe. In the ordered patterning of the light, align with your heart's greater purpose. In gratitude, surrender and release the seed to the benefit of your growth in its own pattern of perfection. The number for yellow seed is 4, the vibration of measure. This is the number of cycles and seasons. It represents the ordered patterning of the light wherein, as Jose Arguelles says, form learns to generate its own seed. The number 4 represents the freed pattern of form, the germination of specific seeds co-created with spirit. If you are in the process of seeding something, meditate with the number 4 and the energy of yellow seed to assist you. And this is really interesting too, how it talks about how even in the bedrock of old belief systems, new seeds can grow. And so the process that it's talking about, I found really fascinating. And I think it's a process, this is the process that we all go through when we begin to endeavor with something new, right? When we try something new that's outside of our comfort zone. Our old belief structures don't support that anymore, but we still plant that seed and we still forge ahead. And so what happens is all of our conflicting belief systems get rattled up and brought up to the surface. And that's why those fears, those doubts, those insecurities come up. And that's the design. That is one of the surest ways to move through and identify these old belief systems and these perceived limitations, is by planting that new seed and moving into that new energy. And you will see everywhere where your old belief structures and your old perceptions, your old illusions are attempting to keep you in place. That will all come to the surface and they will be revealed naturally through that process. So that's really powerful. And yes, I want to see, that's all I want to read from that for you guys today. So for the astrology today, we do have the moon in the sign of Virgo. We also have Jupiter stationing today. And so this is really powerful energy here. Jupiter is stationing, getting ready to go retrograde in the sign of Pisces. And as Jupiter is only at 2 degrees of Pisces, Jupiter will be moving into Aquarius during this retrograde. So this is really powerful. We know how powerful Jupiter was entering Aquarius with Saturn at the end of 2020, right when we initiated this age of Aquarius energy and this final stage of our shifting into that age. So it's really powerful, Jupiter now moving back into Aquarius after having dipped into Pisces a little bit. And of course, once the retrograde ends, moving back through and into Pisces once again. So this energy with Jupiter retrograde is really this process of awareness, kind of like we've been talking about. We are really revising our understandings, our faith, our belief structures, all of that energy. Jupiter is supporting us and really taking a second look at, really analyzing and seeing from a different perspective. This is a deep and profound period of internal spiritual growth when we have Jupiter in a retrograde period. And so I think that we're all going to be feeling this very deeply. And it's going to give us an opportunity to really connect with our own truth, our own divine truth, and our divine path. What are those true desires, the truest desires of our hearts? It's going to give us that awareness in order to really understand that and to really see the ways that we've grown when it comes to our spirituality, when it comes to our faith, when it comes to our morals and ideals, how those have shifted, how we feel about that process, and how those are wanting to continue to shift and evolve. So really big energies. Jupiter's energy very strong right now, being stationed, meaning that it appears to be stationary in the sky as it starts to shift course, moving from direct into retrograde. And we have an opposition with the moon in Virgo as Jupiter begins this retrograde, or stations to begin this retrograde today. So that's a really powerful energy as well. It's really that energy that's calling us and giving us a preview of what we're going to experience with this full moon in Capricorn, which I fully intend to have out before I leave, and hopefully I will, but if it comes out after, that's the divine timing for it. But this full moon in Capricorn, which is all about really understanding our responsibilities, taking responsibility and authority for our lives and for where it is that we're going. And you can feel that with this yellow seed energy today as well. It's a beautiful energy, but it is that energy that asks us to take responsibility for our creations. Right? And so with this moon in Virgo opposing this stationary Jupiter, we're really getting a look at that, sort of a peek into that energy. And there is some sort of relationship to Saturn that I believe I saw going on today as well. Yes, Mercury retrograde trining Saturn, which also brings in that. It's that reevaluating energy. It's that energy that's really asking us to practice that awareness, to really pay attention to what's being shown to us, what's showing up in our emotional body, what's showing up in our mental body, right? Where are we being called to really take that time out to reevaluate things, to get honest with ourselves about what we think and what we feel, what we want and what we know, and also what we don't know, right? With that Mercury retrograde going on, with that square to Neptune involved, right? What we know and what we don't know. And where it is that we want to go from here. It's definitely like a reality check kind of day, or a day that's asking us to really get quiet and check in with ourselves. Check in with our level of contentment. Check in with our level of honesty with ourselves and with others in our lives. And check in with the creations, with our manifestations, and how it is that they are fulfilling us or not. Where is it that we can take where is it that we need to take a more active role in our process of manifestation, and where is it that we perhaps need to release the reins a little bit? And so we're going to learn about all of that today, quite possibly. I'm wanting to pull some Moonology cards to start today. Clear. Let's get some guidance from the Moonology deck for today, June 16th. Ooh, first card out, you're very close to achieving your goal. That's beautiful energy, right? And we do have Mars now in the sign of Leo, in fiery Leo. So we are feeling fired up. We are feeling motivated to go after the things that we want. And so this Capricorn full moon is really going to help, because it's going to show us what is left to do in order to achieve that goal, right? Where do those adjustments need to be made? So we can start looking at that today, but we can know that we are very, very close, whatever it is. This is definitely that energy of, don't give up before the fat lady sings, right? And so we have communication is key coming out as the second card. You're very close to achieving your goals, but it requires communication, right? This is where we're talking about that heartfelt communication, that honesty, having that sense of personal internal honesty that we can then share with others. It also involves, I feel like for some of you guys, like whatever it is that your goal is, whatever it is that you're trying to create, if you talk to other people about it and use your intuition about who to talk to, right? We don't always necessarily want to tell everybody everything we're up to. We don't want to bring all of that collective energy into our manifestations. But when we're guided to talk about what it is that we are working towards, sometimes we find support, sometimes we find resources that we didn't have there before. And so I think that this is part of what that energy is when you're guided to communicate about things, communicate about them. And it's really interesting too, because I'm noticing on this card right now, there is one of the twins, right? Because this is the new moon in Gemini card. One of the twins has her eyes closed and one has them open. So that's really interesting. And I'm seeing that, the way that I'm seeing that right now is the two sides of us, right? This is sort of the feminine, the receptive, the intuitive, and the masculine, the active, right? And when we're working with this lunar tone, we're also working with the masculine and the feminine, the polarity, right? And the balancing of those energies, the balancing of all polarities. And so, yeah, just really noticing that. It's like, listen. And that's another thing here, right? Listening and speaking. When we communicate, we want to do both. We don't want to just be waiting for our turn to speak. We want to listen as well. And so really, this is learning communication, learning the art of true communication, which comes from the ability to listen and actually hear somebody, as well as the ability to communicate what we think and feel, right? So really taking that in. That is going to be very, very necessary for a lot of people with whatever goals it is that they're wanting to achieve as well. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the blue moon, believe in the impossible. Oh my, the nose is starting to itch, you guys, as it does often. So believe in the impossible, believe in the fairy tale, believe in the happily ever after. Whatever that is for you, whatever that means for you, do not limit yourself. You're very close to achieving your goal, and I feel for some people, it's like your goal is just the beginning of what's actually possible for you. And that's why Spirit wants you to believe in the impossible, right? To keep yourself open, because the possibilities far exceed what you anticipate or expect. And then we have a time for healing, the balsamic moon. And so there's a lot of healing that's available to people today. I feel as though there are healing conversations that can happen for people today as well. And so be open to those healing conversations where they present themselves today. Yeah. And this is, I mean, we're in a deep, deep healing process right now, you guys. Coming out of that eclipse. Yes, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Major cycles that we're closing out. And this is the full moon in Capricorn. And I'm feeling right now, as I hold this card, as we have this full moon in Capricorn coming up, that is for a lot of people going to be sort of an official closeout for a lot of these cycles and a lot of these energies that have come up during the first half of this eclipse season here. Yeah. So that it's that ending to this tough cycle, right? And for some people, like, your goal is simply to end this cycle, to complete and resolve this cycle so that you're not repeating the same experiences and lessons anymore because you've learned them, you're done, you're ready to wrap it up, right? And so this is saying that cycle is coming to a close. Just pay a lot of attention to what you're being shown right now, to your intentions, to your motives, to how you are handling yourself in situations, right? Make sure that you are communicating effectively by listening as well as speaking, that you are communicating with spirit effectively as well, right? That you are listening. You're practicing meditation as often as you are speaking when you're talking to your guides and your angels and you're looking for direction. Just all the different ways of communication, like communication, as it says, is key during this time, and that you are giving yourself that space for healing. You are allowing that healing process to occur, and you're not trying to rush through it, right? Sometimes it's like we want to be healed and we want it now. But healing is a process, and there are many layers to it. So it's allowing that and giving other people the space for healing, for their own healing that they need as well. Then we have Show the World the Real You, full moon in Aquarius energy. So this is all about really that energy of stepping into more the truth of who we are. This is the energy of honesty, right? Once again coming through. So big energy today of self-honesty, right? And once we can be self-honest, we can then be honest with the rest of the world. But until we can be honest with ourselves, we cannot be honest with anybody else, right? And so once we know our truth, it's really living that in the world, having the courage to do that. I feel like in this picture, of course, we have Aquarius, who is the water bearer. So, of course, they're pouring the water. But I feel like her pouring out everything that doesn't serve her is what I feel. Everything that is not her. Every role that she's played that is not who she truly is. Right? That's sort of the energy that I'm feeling, that she's pouring out and releasing right there, which is really big and really powerful. And then on the bottom of the deck, you and your loved ones are safe. All right, what else do I want to do here? I want to pull... Yeah, I do. I want to pull a Beyond Lemuria card for you guys, too. Clear. I feel like for some people, it's like you're so close to achieving your goal. But there's one last thing that's necessary. And for many people, that thing that's necessary is... the honesty, being able to see that final piece. There's one final thing that needs to be viewed and understood. There's one final truth that needs to be witnessed. And for many people, this is an inner truth. And that inner truth is what instigates the healing that really closes out this cycle and allows you to step more firmly into who you truly are. And that you and your loved ones are safe comes out all the time. Just to really, just to remind people, I think there's so many people who are worried about their loved ones. I mean, I guess this is, now I'm seeing this too as a message from me as well, right? And so it's like, just knowing that they're safe and cared for. That they're safe and cared for. that everything is happening in perfect time and exactly how it's meant to. That we all have our own journeys, right? And they are safe and protected on their journey, just as we are safe and protected on ours. And there is going to be, I have the Cancer and the Capricorn cards on top of each other, the way that I have them here placed. And this full moon is happening on the Capricorn Cancer axis, right? In Capricorn. So it is that balance of family and ambition, that balance of the masculine and the feminine, that balance of the inner and the outer that we are going to be working with. And so for some of you guys, it's like if you've had a tough cycle with your family or with people that you love, that is coming to an end. If your family is going through really painful and tough cycles, there is an ending or a completion to that cycle coming for them as well. And so we have endless opportunities and awakened awareness coming out. How perfect is this with this yellow seed energy today? So this is the energy of noticing all of the possibilities, right? Believe in the impossible. There is no such thing as the impossible because all possibilities are possible, right? So it's remembering that, it's recognizing that, it's staying open because there are so many opportunities that are going to be, that are already on their way to you, right? This is why we keep walking that last mile. Feels like the longest, but we keep walking. Right? We keep moving. We keep going. And it's asking us to pay attention. They're asking us to pay attention to the opportunities presented to us. And this isn't just like when we talk about, and this is where the awakened awareness comes in, be aware. And when we're talking about opportunities, we're not just talking about the big job that's offered to us, the big move, the new relationship, the whatever. We're talking about the little opportunities in our daily lives to shift our energy. That's where the major shifts occur, is in those little moments. It's really interesting that this is coming up. I was reading this and I'm reading this book called by Jamie Price. It's Opening to Light Language. And in the book, she talks about how energy healing and how the way that it unfolds in our lives is oftentimes it's a cumulative thing that we don't even notice. And as we are shifting and as we are changing, we receive all these little opportunities to step into the new energy, right? We get that choice. Do I stay in the old energy? Do I revert back to an old energy? Or do I act out of the new energy? Do I step into the new energy? Do I allow myself to perceive differently? Do I allow myself to act differently? Right? Am I embracing those opportunities to shift? We get given all these and they're just little tiny moments, right? That's what this is feeling like, just little tiny moments. Be aware of all of those little tiny moments where you get an opportunity to do something differently than you've done it before, to see something from a different perspective, and to really internalize that process. That's how we shift our reality. Yes, we can have huge timeline jumps. That happens sometimes. But it's in these everyday little choices and moments, in this now moment, right, that we shift our reality by noticing, being aware of the opportunities to move in the direction that we want to move, to make the new choice. And so that is what Spirit wants us to focus on. Focus on those opportunities today to step into a new vibration. To really, I wanted to say like lock in that new vibration, but we don't ever want to do that because our vibration is constantly evolving and shifting and raising, right? Like it's a journey. It's an endlessly unfolding journey, but to continue to step into and embody those higher frequencies and vibrations, pay attention to those little opportunities today. Be 100% aware. Be aware of what's happening around you. Be aware of what's happening within you. And be really, really present. And be present in that high heart chakra as well. And I love how the high heart chakra and the realm bridger are right next to each other. Because the heart is is the portal to the fifth dimension, as we say all the time on here, right? Our heart is that bridge between realms. So allow your bliss, right? This card says ecstatic bliss. Allow your heart, allow your bliss to bridge those realms today. To bridge those timelines and be aware of the opportunities that present themselves to continue to step into those higher timelines. And that hummingbird on the bottom here, I'm really noticing and feeling that hummingbird energy for us today as well, working with that hummingbird energy. All right, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. So much love, so much appreciation to each and every single one of you. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It is always appreciated. Drop a comment. Let me know how you guys are doing, and I will absolutely talk to you soon. My email is down below with a list of the different services that I offer. So feel free to shoot me an email if you would like to do any one-on-one work, opening up, completing any of these cycles, with any of this healing work, with any of this ability to be aware, this ability to identify and notice these patterns and shift into these higher timelines. Anything, everything, we can cover it. Just reach out if you are so inclined. I will talk to you all soon.